The wind howled through the narrow alleyways of Detroit's East Side, dragging along scraps of yesterday's newspaper and last week's regrets. Rain sliced the night air like icy razors, drenching the city in a cold that sank deeper than skin. On the crumbling steps of an old brick duplex, a figure sat curled beneath a threadbare army jacket. His name was Eli. 28. Homeless. A shadow with a heartbeat. He hadn't always been this way. There had been dreams once, big ones. A scholarship to Michigan State. A future in architecture. A girl he loved. But a single wrong turn, one bar fight, one misjudged night, one harsh sentence, had spun his life into a tailspin. Now, he drifted from shelter to shelter, job to job, often failing at both. Tonight, he had nowhere to go. The shelter was full, and the diner had thrown him out after he tried to sneak a nap in a booth. So he sat in the dark, shivering, wondering if he'd make it till morning. Then, the door creaked open. A woman stood there in a faded blue cardigan, her gray curls pulled into a bun. She was small but firm in posture, like someone used to standing alone. Her eyes, though tired, held no fear, just something close to curiosity. "You'll freeze to death out there," she said. "Come in." Eli blinked, uncertain. Strangers weren't kind for no reason. "I'm not trying to sell you Jesus or poison," she added. "Just a warm place to sleep." Reluctantly, Eli rose, joints aching, and stepped inside. The warmth of the house wrapped around him like a long-forgotten embrace. The furniture was old but clean. The walls were lined with books and black and white photographs. A small cat stared at him from the armrest of a floral couch. "I'm Martha," she said, pouring hot tea into a chipped mug. "You hungry?" He nodded. She handed him a plate with 2 peanut butter sandwiches and a bowl of steaming vegetable soup. He ate in silence, his hands trembling, not from fear but disbelief. She didn't ask where he came from. She didn't ask what he'd done. She just gave him a pillow, a blanket, and a corner of the living room where the heater hummed softly. That night, Eli cried. Quietly, so she wouldn't hear. Not for what he'd lost, but for the kindness he hadn't known he still deserved. Over the next few days, Martha gave him more than just shelter. She gave him silence when he needed it, words when he craved them, and dignity when he had forgotten his own name. She didn't lecture him or pity him. She simply saw him. He started fixing things around the house. A loose step. A leaky faucet. An old radio that hadn't worked in years. His hands remembered how to build, how to care. Slowly, he felt the fog inside him lift. They shared meals, stories, laughter. She told him about her late husband, a war vet who had died of cancer. About her son who had moved away and barely called. About her garden that had once bloomed with tulips and her stubborn hope that it would again. One night, after dinner, Martha said, "People think kindness is soft. But it's the toughest thing there is. It's what got me through losing everything." Eli didn't respond. But something cracked open inside him. Then came the knock. It was late. Too late for guests. Eli opened the door cautiously, and froze. 3 men stood outside. One of them, Jake, Eli recognized from the shelter. Dangerous. Twitchy. Desperate. "We followed you," Jake said, his voice low. "Saw the old lady. Thought maybe she's got stuff. You owe us, man. Let us in." Eli's heart pounded. "She's got nothing. Just leave her alone." But they pushed past him. Inside, Martha stood, calm as ever. "Take what you want," she said, voice steady. "But please, don't hurt him." Jake raised a gun. "She thinks we're joking." Eli's instincts screamed. His mind raced. He saw Martha's eyes, tired but fearless. He stepped forward. No, Eli said, placing himself in front of her. Take me. Not her. A scuffle broke out. The gun went off. Silence. Martha screamed. Eli fell. He woke up in a hospital bed, with tubes in his arms and pain like fire in his chest. The bullet had missed his heart by inches. The men had run. Police caught them 2 days later. Martha sat beside him, knitting something with trembling hands. I thought you were gone, she whispered, eyes wet. I'm not, he rasped. Not yet. You saved my life. He shook his head. No. You saved mine first. Months passed. Eli recovered. Slowly. He found a job at a local construction company. Martha's son came back, briefly, to thank him. Then left again. But Martha wasn't alone anymore. Eli stayed. He built her a new garden. She taught him how to bake. Together, they started a small soup kitchen in the basement, offering meals and shelter to those like Eli, those who just needed someone to believe in them. And the sign over the door read, Martha's Place, come in from the cold. People asked Eli about the scar on his chest. He'd smile and say, I gave my life for hers. And she gave me mine back. He never told them the full story. He didn't have to. Because anyone who stepped into that house felt it, the warmth, the hope, the stubborn, unshakable kindness that changed everything.